to The Token and the Truth. I'm your host, Lady Drea Renee, and this is my lovely co-host. Oh, this way. Freddie
Shemay Mans,
B.
Freddie, BTV. What's up? What's up? What's up?
We're a little late today. Why are we late today,
Y-
Freddie?
When you get old, you just take naps and you fall asleep. And so I fell asleep. I was sitting here and I was like ready, and some told me just to start the room so we could just hop right in. But then I don't know. Next thing I know, I was asleep. And then I heard my phone ringing and it was you texting me like, oh my God, I'm ready.
You know what? To be fair, I did take a nap as well today because, I think as you get older, you need to take a little naps to keep those.
Naps are important, but the thing is, you got to take the nap. You can't let the nap take you, and the naps always take me. I am no match. I can do a lot, and I'm
I
a very
love it.
motivated. I'm a very competitive person, and not many people and not many things can take me. But there's one thing I don't stand much of a match to is a nap.
I love that you said take the nap, but don't let the nap take you. Write that down, everybody. Write that down.
Book it. Not not that.
I always do the because I love Cardi B, which I'm sure you have some lovely thoughts.
I mean, no. The thing is I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm actually surprised. Cardi B is a very traditional woman.
Okay, because I thought you were about to come for Cardi. I was like, do not.
I love Cardi. I love Cardi B.
Love Cardi B. Wow.
Yeah, and the reason why I like Cardi B, huh?
Because she's traditional, you love her?
No, it's not even because of that. Cardi B is smart. She's shrewd, she's clever, and she's smart. Cardi B and Nicki Minaj too, to some extent. Nicki Minaj, I think I don't like how Nicki Minaj. Like Nicki Minaj, she beefs a little. She like throws shots sometimes unnecessarily towards other females. And it's like, I don't understand, like, why women will start to beef, but that's the thing, you know what I mean? I don't really get that part, but she'll do that. But they both are shrewd and smart as it pertains to what they, even really, if you think about all the women rappers do it, they make y'all think that they independent and get your money, sis, and hot girl summer. And it's all you, and we gonna do it, and ain't nobody tell me nothing. They say all that rap, and then they take their ass home to their husband and lay up, be like, shit, you bitches do that. I'm about to sit with my man and babe, can you go pump my gas, babe? Can you do thank you? And they sit and they chill. Like Cardi rapped on the song, I don't cook and I don't clean, but I can tell you how I got this ring. But next thing you know, you see Offset video in the house cleaning, like, oh, I thought you didn't cook and clean. She like, bitch, that was for a song.
That was for a song, not for the real life.
That's entertainment. That was to lead you common hoes astray. Y'all think that you're supposed to go and do it, and then y'all go out and do it and be single for the rest of your life and be mad and miserable while I'm sitting safe. So, like, I get it. Like, the thing is, I get entertainment. I get what they do, but I'm in it. And so I can see it, and I get why people do what they do. Just my thing is the common folk fall for it. And I'd be like, nah, that ain't your life. Don't. But it's hard. Easier said than done, right?
And it's the message that's going out to all the ladies and the gentlemen. So I heard, what song did I hear by Saucy Santana, 1-800-BAD-B? And I swear to God, I put that song on and I was like, you know what?
I just found out who Saucy Santana was. I mean, I guess it makes sense why I wouldn't know who Saucy Santana is.
That would make sense why you wouldn't know who Saucy Santana is.
People were talking about, I was like, what is a Saucy Santana? Like, who is that?
Like, is that a new salsa coming out at the Mexican restaurants? What's going on?
Yeah, I was so confused. I was like, Saucy Santana, who is that? And I saw it. Oh, it makes sense why I don't know who a damn Saucy Santana is.
It makes sense why you don't know who Saucy
makes perfect sense. But we like to do a little small talk before we get into let people come into the room. But let's hop into it, Dre. Like, break it down for them.
All right, you guys, today we're going to be talking about dating through social media, sliding in the DMs, and what the longevity of these relationships will look like, should look like, whatever your thoughts are on that. We'll also be talking about people dating down, because I just heard recently a friend of mine said he dates less attractive women because they do more. So we'll dive into that. We'll also be diving into a hot topic this week, you guys. Jonathan Majors arrested allegedly for assaulting his girlfriend. I know a lot of people were super disappointed to hear that news, but right now she's recanting her statement at the moment. So I'm hoping that it's not true, but we're going to dive into all of those things. I think we can start with this social media dating, right? So, I have had a few friends, and you guys, if you want to join our chat, You can get into the chat, get into the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you want to cam up, if you got things to say, if something I say sparks you, if something Freddie says sparks you, please get in the comments. And Freddie put the link down below.
Well, you gotta put it in there for your Facebook.
Wait, it says like you put it in there for me.
Now your personal Facebook page.
Oh, the Facebook page. Yeah, I gotta figure that out. I still haven't
figured
it out.
You gotta just copy and paste it and go to your Facebook and just and leave it as a comment.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll do that when you get to chatting. So our first topic we're going to dive into today is, like I said, the social media dating. So I've had many friends who have developed relationships from someone sliding in their DMs, and I'm curious, does this work? Does it not work? In my opinion, I kind of have an issue with it because I feel like the people that are doing this, that are sliding into the DMs to find a date, they're sliding into like a bunch of DMs. It's like a numbers game. So then once you guys start dating, do they stop sliding? It's almost the same thing as online dating. And I know some people will say that because a lot of people date from online apps, but you usually have the conversation where it's like, okay, we're both going to get off Bumble or Hinge or Tinder or whatever. But if you're meeting somebody on Instagram and that's kind of your way of seeing women or men or whatever, then once you guys start dating, nobody's getting off Instagram. You're still engaging on Instagram. So I personally think it's a slippery slope and it's not something that I would really want to do, but I'm not going to lie. If the right guy with some in my DM, I get like a bunch of weirdos in my DMs and never anybody that's like actually interesting.
I mean, that's usually the case. I mean, I think we all do. If you get some type of DM action, obviously, I mean, I would guess that women get more DM action than men because of what you just said. I think a lot of women just in their mind like, I'm not really trying to dive into DMs like that. But I mean, I think like that same logic, you can use that for Bumble or Hinge. Like if they get on Bumble or Hinge, like you ain't the only one on the swipe right on.
Right. But my point is, even with Bumble or Hinge, you delete the app after that. You're done. You're not going to. Well, I mean, I hope you do, right?
When?
You have the conversation.
What? Who? Tim, talk about that.
I was in a relationship from Hinge for 4 years. And then at a certain point, you're dating for a while and you make it official. You have the conversation of like, hey, you're not on Bumble or Hinge, right? The person tells you yes or no. Now, look, to be fair, a lot of times I think people say yes and they probably are not done with that. But at some point, you got to get off the app. You can't stay on the app unless you just low down. But it's true. But then like meeting people in real life, it's like, I mean, I don't even know if people are doing that these days. I think most people are meeting online because you could be standing right next to somebody that you talk to all the time online and then have nothing to say to them in person. Like that's how communication goes these days. It's very strange. People would rather sit there and send you a text or a DM. They get to looking at you in the face and they're freaking out, which is like insane to me. It's insane to me.
So you saying you meet people off Hinge and then y'all have a conversation. You like, yo, y'all have the conversation about the dating app. And I mean, because I'm not even thinking about that. Like, if we can meet off Hinge and we start talking, I'm not thinking to have a conversation like, hey, you're not on Hinge, are you?
What do you mean? Once you get serious, of course. No.
Oh no. I mean, like, well, me, that seems like you kind of like scared, like you kind of worry, like, oh, are you still on Hinge? I guess with me, I look at it for myself. I'm like, I guess I'm thinking like, if you still on there, then like I'm not good enough. Like I'm not doing something that's prime time enough that you're not happy with. If you still on there, like if you on there, you on there. You not. And
I understand that, but I think if you guys are at a certain place in your relationship, then you should have that conversation where you're deciding that we're both not going to be on it, or you're at least checking like, hey, we're doing this, right? I mean, I would prefer the man brought that up.
Oh, would you? You would prefer the man to bring that up?
Okay. Oh. On this, what?
Why? Why would you prefer the man to bring it up?
With that particular thing?
Why?
I would prefer the man set the temperature on deciding that it's official.
Why?
Because I think that it's better that way when the men decide.
No, why?
I just think it's better.
Why?
What do you? It's better.
You don't have any explanation for that?
That's all I got. Is that I think it's better. In my experience, it's better when a man. God, I don't want to use the L word. It's better when a man makes that choice first.
What is that? No, say. So can you make it plain for us? Like say it like we in third grade.
It's if the man takes the first step on that, I think it's better. I'm not going to use the L word. I can't. My pride.
So I'll say it for what you want to say is you think it's better if the man leads
on this particular issue.
Well, why this particular issue?
Because I think if a man is going to lead, oh, I can barely say it. If the man can lead in that, I think you have a better chance in the relationship.
Why do you think if the man leads in this particular thing?
Freddie, all right, that's enough. That's all you get from me today.
Okay, we'll save some for a later episode. I know this. So like we starting to have a breakthrough right here. You see that breakthrough? Like it's that demon in you. It get pulling that demon out. Is your mom here? Look, I'm working on your daughter. We getting that demon out. We gonna get it up. That demon up out of her, boy. That demon of independence.
I've always felt that though. Always. I always think for a relationship to have some sort of longevity, in my opinion, and again, this is my opinion. This does not go for everyone. You do you. But for me,
it's your opinion.
Okay, thank you. It's my opinion. I think that a man should be like, hey, we're doing this. Because in my experience and all of the information that I've taken from, during research on relationships, it just doesn't fare so well if the woman is like trying to make the man be in the relationship that they don't want to be in.
So let me assist you. Let me say what you want to say. Let me say what you want to say. Let me break down the information that you have, but you just don't want to say it at the moment. The reason I agree with you, I 100% agree with you. I'm 100% lock and step in agreement with you. And the reason why that's the case is because you see Tiana right here. She said once you make it official, that should be a given.
Right.
You have that, but there are layers to that. But I agree, basically with Tiana. But the reason why you're saying what you're saying is because women hold access to sex. Men hold access to relationships. So that's where our power lies. Once a woman opens her legs and invites a man in, then she's giving up her power to the man. Once a man says, like, this is my woman, and even more than that, marries a woman, he has given up his power and handed that over to the woman. And so that's why in this case, why, you're saying that, the man should lead on that because it's setting the boundaries of the relationship. Like I've said before, men set the structure, women nurture what's in the structure. And so that's why when you're setting the structure, you want the man to set the boundaries on that so that then that woman can feed and grow what he's providing within that structure. Just like a man provides the house, the woman makes the home. The man provides the seed, the woman makes a baby. Like all these different things that that show us in life that once the man provides something, then that woman can then take it and then grow it to something way bigger than what he initially had. And so she makes it better what the man provides, which then goes into structure of the man protecting and providing. And so I actually saw a meme on Instagram earlier today where it said the difference between a boss and a leader. And the thing is that a lot of women have been disillusioned with men that, like they equate leadership and being a boss with the same thing. And the thing is that you want a leader. A man should lead, and a leader is somebody. I'm not saying a woman should have a boss. That's not what I'm saying. A woman should not have a boss. A woman should have a leader, and those are two different things. Bosses lord over, they try to dictate everything and they micromanage. That's what a boss does, because the boss micromanages because it doesn't trust the person they're in charge of to do anything. A leader trusts the person they're in charge of to do whatever it is that they're great at, and they delegate and compartmentalize different things. Okay, boom, you handle that. This is how it's all going to run, and they have a vision forward. The leader can't micromanage because the leader's out front trying to guide the ship, make sure that, hey, everybody behind me, I'm chopping down the trees and making a path for us forward. Bosses are right there with you. So you walking, they tell you what to do, but then you still got to help the boss clear the path. And it's like, sir, this makes no sense. So women conflate the two a lot of times because in their own personal life, they've been with bosses. They like, okay, I want the man to do this, and they just get with any Tom, Dick, and Harry who's not a leader, and he's just a boss, and they get, disillusioned, and they get like their whole vision clouded and muddy, and think like, okay, that's what a leader is. Like, no, that's not a leader. You was never with a leader. Not saying you, I'm saying everybody out there. I'm taking them, y'all. But that's why you say you want the man to lead on this.
I just think it sets a better foundation. I do still feel, what I feel about the logistics once you get into the relationship, that things can be, another way. But
and also, did you hear in the news about Lyft?
What about Lyft?
So Lyft, their two co-founders are stepping down, and somebody who's on the board is taking over as CEO because Lyft, their stock has dropped 70%.
Wait to tell me that.
Yes, and so I because in previous episodes I've talked about how you only have one leader, and Lyft had two co-founders, but one of them was a CEO. Lyft, one of them was a CEO, one of them was the president. So you had one of them had to decide like, okay, I'm going to lead the charge. The other person supported that person, was essentially their business wife. This just is what it is. And now they're both stepping down, and the one guy who used to be with Amazon and Microsoft, he's stepping up as the new CEO. So that's another example of you can't have two leaders.
Well, I still, Freddie, will stick to my guns that I think different partnerships, different dynamics can work for different people. I had brunch this weekend with a really good girlfriend of mine, and I was, of course, telling her about the podcast and the things that we talk about.
Did you show her some of my stuff so she can get mad?
Oh, she was like, is he from like the 1950s? What?
And look, we need to go back to the 1950s. Look,
I know that you think that. I know that you think that.
You see what's been happening in the news lately?
But
all I'm saying,
first of all, she's been married for 11 years. Okay, she's been with her partner for 11 years. They are beyond happy.
Wait, they've been together for 11 years or been married for 11 years?
They've been together for maybe 15 years. It's been a long time.
Okay.
So blended families, very stable, very happy. I like literally one time was at brunch with my girlfriends. I saw them across the street skipping together. They're so happy. They're very happy. I love them. They're the happiest.
And that's good. I'm happy for them. But we do know about a thing called outliers.
Oh,
we do know about a thing called outliers.
Why? Because they're skipping? Because they're skipping together. They're an outlier.
I mean, no, not that. I mean, that's just unreal. But if they were skipping, that's great. I doubt they skip every single day.
And of course, they don't skip every single day, Freddie.
Right.
Obviously, nobody's skipping every single day.
But they're happy. That's good. That's the whole point of it all. Like I'm not gonna tell somebody who did something outside of what I said, and they're truly happy and like, oh no, you can just break all this up and do it the way I'm like, no. If you got to your place in your way, cool. But the thing is standards are still standards, just like NBA.
I get
it. Get to the NBA. You got to have a certain pocket of tools. You got to do things a certain way to get to the NBA. Are there people who've gotten to the NBA outside of those avenues? Yes. But anybody who knows anything about basketball would never tell somebody to go like LaMelo Ball. Nobody would ever tell anybody to do what LaMelo Ball did to get to the NBA. Like, that would be foolish. But he did it his way and got to the NBA.
Well, I realized that, though, for myself personally, that, I am just probably going to be more in the outlier field, and I'm okay with that, looking for a partner. I'm sorry, because I'm not going to be with someone just because especially because you said this is the way it's supposed to go, and but you know what I will say? I will say this, and I was watching the Roommates podcast last night, and there was a woman, and she was very similar to me, boss girl, independent. I'm going to do what I want to do. And one of the things she did say is that she had to work on, and I related to this, is the agreeable part of being in a relationship, right? Now, this woman has a huge personality, huge. But she said, I learned within my relationship, I'm not going to dim my light. She's still who she is, which is what my fear was in these types of traditional things. I was like, I don't want to lose Drea, Like I don't want somebody being like, you better, like, you, excuse me, no, sorry, but she said, because in my mind, that's what I envision of someone.
And that's the thing I don't like. I heard what you said a lot, and I just
Mhm.
always wonder, like, where does that come from? That's always interested me. Women, I'm not gonna dim my light, and because like it's like, have you like do women watch What's Love Got to Do with it or something? Be like, it's a bunch of Ikes running around here.
Because I just feel like those dynamics, especially with the the tax bracket that I'm in, and certain things. So and I did hear something really interesting the other day. This woman said for successful women that you may not be able to date successful men, that's a whole other podcast, which I thought that was really interesting, because she's like, you got to date like a successful man. And I was like, huh, okay, I'll send you the link. We'll dive into that another time. But anyway, so the woman said this thing about being agreeable, and I thought, I understand that after living with someone, because you do have to pick your battles. I can't get upset about every single thing. And this is what I try to say to you, Freddie. I always look, this is a podcast. We got to be polarizing in some way. So I speak to the outliers and you speak to, whatever you speak to the people. Okay. But it's like, there are situations that organically will align with some of the things that you say. They just happen that way. So like, it wasn't like, oh, Drea, you're combative or you're this and that, and you need to this. I looked at myself and I was like, we live together now, and I think I need to be more discerning on what I'm going to bring up to argue about, because it just isn't worth it to be like getting upset about these things. But it wasn't a matter of like, oh, he said, I just,
He's not gonna say that. He's not gonna say that. That's the thing. That's one of the differences between men and women. Men, that's just who we are. That's just what we do. We already gonna pick our battles. We don't go into we could care less about dimming our light, and she ain't gonna dim my light.
Battles.
She
Men
ain't gonna.
don't want any battles ever.
Huh?
Men don't want any battles ever for any reason.
We want peace, and we will shut down parts of us just to find a peace. We could care less about you ain't gonna dim my light. You ain't gonna tell me. Ain't no man like that. We like, damn, a light. I just want to come and we just chilling. We just good. I could care less about my light. Women, for whatever reason, based off what's in society or the media or whatever, you hear so many women like, he ain't gonna dim my light. I kid you not. It was a girl I dated very, very briefly who said those exact words to me. To me. No, I mean, she said it, we was in conversation. She didn't say it because I did something, but we were conversing and she said it. And then I had another conversation. It was me and 3 guys and 3 other girls. We was at Corner Social, actually. That's like a block over from where I live. And we got into a relationship conversation. These are all, independent professional women. One is a lawyer. Other one is a company lawyer. One's a litigation lawyer. One is a company lawyer, and the other one, she has a corporate job as well. So, and they're all single. All in their mid-30s, single. So you can just imagine what this conversation was like. And so we having this conversation, and the one that wasn't a lawyer, she was the one that was like, I mean, I'm just not gonna dim my light for no man. I don't see why I can be in a relationship and change who I am. I am who I am, and I'm gonna be what I'm gonna be. And so why I was just like, and it just blew me, like, the aggression, and then 2, the fact that you think that you can get in any relationship, business, personal, friendship, romantic, any relationship, and you just gonna be you. F that other person. And you ain't gonna compromise. You ain't gonna fall back at all. And then 3, the job that she works, I know for a fact she dims her life. I know for a fact she gets in and she kowtows and bows to her employer. I know for a fact she does. But her man, the one she's gonna spend the rest of her life with, the one she's supposed to be one with, the one she's supposed to work hand in step with, I ain't gonna dim my light to him. But my white boss at work, I dim my light to him, and I dim my light.
You know what?
I'll bow down.
That's an interesting perspective. I understand what you're saying, because you do have to compromise. I mean, in any relationship, our podcast relationship, you have to compromise sometimes. Where you're
compromising.
Excuse me, what you talking about? You stay compromising.
What?
Anyway,
But I came into this already knowing. I'm like, it's not my thing. It's not me solely. So it's like and I know what I can do. And if it's in the realm, I can do a lot. So that's what helps me to where it's like, okay, what does Dre want? Cool, I can do that.
I mean, that's probably best for everyone here. But but honestly, yeah, I mean, you do have to compromise in a relationship. You can't walk around saying, I'm not going to, cater to my partner in any way. My thing is like, look, you got to know what your values are. You got to know what your core beliefs are. And you find somebody where those things align. And then you just kind of go from there. And yes, in any relationship, you have to compromise. That's just like basic 101. You
Boy,
can't.
look, hey, after this podcast, Dre, you gonna get married. We keep doing this. You gonna find a man. You gonna see Dre
Stop.
get her here. She gonna be glowing. You're like, is Dre glowing? I think
Oh
I see
my
a
God.
shine on
Okay,
her.
wait. Okay,
And
I
then
got it.
Dre gonna be like, I'm dating a guy. He's wonderful. Da, 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 da. And then next thing we know, she's gonna be sending out wedding invites, and then her
Oh
whole
my
tune is gonna
God,
change.
Freddie.
Why? Like, 'cause I can hear it in your voice. Like, you're like what I'm saying is starting to take root. So just
Anyway,
stick around a
Freddie,
little bit longer.
listen, listen.
Stick around a little bit longer.
I'm okay, Freddie.
It'll start to
Thank
blossom.
you. I'm fine.
It'll
There's
start to
definitely
blossom.
things. I'm starting to blossom. Don't do that.
Your
Okay.
name is not gonna be
Don't do
Newell. It's look,
that.
Mom.
Anyway, do not.
Newell is on borrowed time.
Anyway, I enjoy who I am. And after having brunch
Oh,
with
we
my
know you do.
girlfriend, yes, I do. Thank you. After having lunch with my girlfriend, I think it's important to figure out what type of dynamic that you would like. And I like her dynamic with her husband. There just isn't conversations like they do their thing together. And it's worked for a very long time. They don't have these sort of like structured, like you have to do this and you're the woman and whatever. Now, I do have friends who do enjoy that dynamic, and I respect that too. And I also think it's possible, as I keep saying to you, that you can get into a relationships and some of these things that you talk about with conviction can just naturally happen. And you kind of lean into those roles and you don't even know that it's happening, and it's fine. I'm okay with that.
But let me ask you this. I saw this online. Who do you think should pump the gas?
Are you talking about oh no, I got blurry. Are you talking about the meme I sent you? Look, I pump my own gas. I do. I always have.
No, I'm talking about you got a man. You have to pump. You ain't got no choice
Well,
because you're single. You have no choice.
but
You
even
got a
when I
man.
wasn't single, I was pumping my own gas at times.
Your man was so your man wouldn't. Okay, go ahead. Tell me. You're
Okay,
with
to be
somebody and you're
fair,
married.
okay, if he's
Let's say
not
you're
there,
married. Who should pump your gas?
if he's not there, he can't pump the gas, obviously. But naturally, yes, when I'm with a guy, if we go to the gas station, usually they will initiate pumping the gas for
What do
sure.
you think?
I will, you know what? I'll be honest. I don't think I really ever thought about it. I just think most men did it. And so in your brain, you get conditioned where you're like, well, so if I have been in a situation where a man didn't get out to pump the gas, I was like, ew.
Mm,
Because certain
mm.
things men just okay. For instance, I went to hot yoga today, which got canceled. I was devastated. And I know
She
you
is so
love it.
LA from
And
Texas, so LA.
so this guy let me on the elevator first. So because I'm paying attention to all these things now, the male and female dynamics, right? And I was like, why did
Mhm.
he let me on the elevator first? Right? Because it's like that's what you're supposed to do. Now, if he didn't let me on the elevator first, I might have been like, you know what? I'm a lady. So I'm thinking about these things. So yes, if I'm in a car with a guy and he don't get out to pump my gas, or at least attempt to, I'm like, mm. So yeah, I think in a sense, you kind of just assume that they will because that's
Okay,
what
so
a
in
man leans
in
in to
that
do.
same token, what should a woman do?
Make the sandwich, Freddie. If they're gonna pump my gas, you better go home and make a sandwich. Is that what you'd like to hear?
No, man.
But hey,
I
listen,
want to know if you was talking out to the ether, you know, in
I
your
listen.
opinion,
These
you with a man, he
conversations
don't
are
pump the gas. It's
all
like,
they're turning the wheels. They're churning the wheels, right? Because I am thinking, what do men come to a situation with expectations from a woman in dating, right? Because a lot of these things, I realize that we as women want them pretty early on, right? And then it's sort of like, what is the man? requesting from us, or like expecting us, the metaphorical pump the gas from the ladies? Like, what are they looking for from us? So, but then it's like, is it just the sex aspect? I don't really know. These are things that I'm thinking about, Freddie. Why don't you answer for me?
So here's the thing. On your end, you should have, because the thing is
Should, okay.
like, because you know what a man should do. Vice versa, you should know
Very
what
clear.
you should know what a woman should do.
Right.
In the same token. And so the thing is that a lot of women fall in that boat where they know what a man should do, but they don't know what a woman should do. And so it's so structured in mind of what a man should be, what a man should be doing. But then
Right.
as a woman, women can do whatever they want. There are no boundaries, there's no structure on a woman. Nothing is expected. So the thing is if you don't expect nothing from something, then accountability isn't there. And then women lack accountability because there's no standard to hold them up to.
I have an issue with this, women lacking accountability. I feel like right now there's an attack on women. There's an attack. Men are just getting really frustrated. And one of my friends said something very interesting. He was like, a lot of men aren't having sex right now. And he says it's true. I actually saw 2 podcasts on this recently where they're saying the amount of men having sex these days is dropping. It's a very strange reason why. So they're saying, if you look at it from a, I don't like to put numbers on people. I really don't. What's up, MJ? I see you in the chat. What's going on, my love? I don't like to put numbers on people, but they're saying women who are 5 and 6s are sleeping with men who are 9s and 10s, right? So they're thinking these men aren't trying to like wife these women. They're just hooking up with them. So these women are thinking, I can get a 9 or a 10. So the men who is, as Kevin Samuels would say, on their level, right? They're not paying these men attention. So all those men are getting really upset. They're going to Andrew Tate. They're taking his course and trying to figure out, what's going on. And there's all this aggression right now towards women. It's like kind of crazy. They're like, there's no accountability. Women get to do whatever they want. They don't care about the men. The men were oppressed. Now, I will say, to the men, to the defense of the man, in some aspects, I do understand, because there are things that are being highlighted right now that I never even thought about. I just didn't even think about it. I just didn't, because you're right. There isn't like necessarily a structure. You tell a woman, well, a woman should, we're like, whoa, no, absolutely not. That's sort of what comes up. But for me personally, for Drea Renee, I do things in a relationship. Like I go above and beyond. So I can't speak for these other women who are just
so for Drea Renee, what should a woman be doing?
I think you should show up for your man. You should be supportive to your man. You should listen to your man. I'm sorry, why are you looking like that?
Because the reason why is because we just said something very specific and actionable a man should do, and I said, what should a woman do? You should show up. I don't know what that means.
I'm speaking from a dating perspective. It's like when you're dating somebody.
What specific task should a woman be doing?
Task when you're dating or when you're married? These are 2 different questions. Because when you're married and you're living together, I guess depending on whatever dynamic you have, I don't know. Everybody's dynamic is different.
Okay, let me change my question.
Somebody cooks.
What is the 1-for-1? A man should be pumping your gas. What is that for a woman? I
have an answer for that.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
I actually don't.
That's my point.
I know, and I get what you're saying, because I'm trying to think. I know the physical things I've done, the monetary things that I've done for men, but like those are not things I personally necessarily think I should be doing so early on in a relationship. But I don't know, Freddie. What do you think? I'd like to know what your answer. I'm asking you.
So I mean, I've said it before. I mean, but the overall point I'm making is just that.
No, I get it.
And so the thing, like, because men, a lot of men are like, okay, women should be doing this and men should be doing this. Like men, like pump the gas, like, and to be honest with you, like what you sent me, as far as pumping gas, like a woman should never even if I'm not there, you shouldn't even have to go to the gas station. You should hop in a car with a car that's full of gas. Like you should never get in your car and it's on E and you got to go to the gas station and I'm not there. The only time that maybe should happen is if I'm gone for like weeks at a time. I'm on a job trip, or I'm gone for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. And so obviously the gas can't last that long. And so you have to go. But if I'm there, like your car is on E, what should happen is, hey babe, I was driving, I came, my car is on E. Okay.
Right.
I know that, okay, I need to go and take your car to the gas station and put some gas in it, washing a car, doing cutting the grass, doing lawn work, taking out the
Is this
trash.
dating? Is this dating, or is this when you're together?
I mean,
Like you're
like, I mean,
married?
I mean, it starts to become more and more, once you get married, when you get closer to
Right.
marriage, but those type of things, they increase in propensity in how it should happen. But those are all the things that I'm saying. But the larger point I'm making is that when we flip it and then say one for one, what a woman should be doing, that's when we're met with all these type of things of like, oh, we live in this misogynistic world, and the patriarchy is on us and all this other type of stuff. And it's like, but we know what men should be doing. We can accept that as women, but as women, that's what accountability, the lack of accountability comes in. Because if you're accountable for yourself, then you acknowledge that, okay, if I'm a request and expect for my man or men, period, to be doing this, then I understand that what's good for the goose is also good for the gander. There are things that I should be doing as well. Women
Okay.
should be doing as well.
I understand that. And what's up, cousin? My cousin Victoria's in the chat. What's up, girlfriend? You guys make sure that you're commenting. And if you want to cam up and if you have
Yeah,
anything to say on these
comment,
subjects,
like, and share, man. Stop playing
please.
with us, man.
Freddie, you're so funny. Listen, I would like to know as a man, what exactly do you think is the one for one? And we're getting a little bit off of our subjects today, but we started with social media dating, and now we're going into this topic that I am really interested in, because it's like I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about like the tangible actions that I've taken. I'm not recommending these actions I take, but like, I do like acts of service, like love notes, or I think quality time, spending time with someone, listening to them on the phone, or, I'm not necessarily sure how that operates with dating. Like, oh, somebody comes
Right.
over, I cooked for them, or, I stay over and I, make their bed or something like that. Don't be hollering, Freddie. My cousin's so funny. So when you're dating someone, men do come with these set of things that like, oh, he needs to pay, he needs to open my door, he has to stand up when I go to the bathroom. What, in your opinion, Freddie, is okay? But I want to be clear here. I'm asking you, when you're dating someone, right? When you're dating, because when you're married, I can give you some things. If you are in a traditional situation, obviously, like you keep the household together, you're taking care of the kids, he has whatever when he's coming home. Okay, cool. But if you're dating someone, you're getting to know them. Why is it a thing that a man's courting a woman and doing certain things? And what exactly is the one for one in that situation?
And so the thing is yeah, you got two different situations. You dating and getting to know somebody, and then you are trying to build a relationship, engagement, and then you get married. Those are your three steps, right? And so if you're dating and getting to know somebody, then that's a little bit different. Obviously, the man ain't cutting the grass, doing housework, and all types of things. There are small things that, even still, like, I mean, it's women that I just was getting to know. Like, we need, we starting the whole dating process, and I've been on their house, and but still they got a full trash can. I take their trash out before I leave. I take their trash out. And so the thing
Okay.
is that I'm not debating. I'm not going to say that when a man is with a woman, like, there are things that a man has to kick in and do, and that he should be doing prior to the woman kicks in and what she should be doing. Because like when you're getting to know a woman, and a man and a woman is getting to know each other, they're just starting. Like, yeah, there are things that as a man you open the door for. You over a house, take a trash out if it's full. You know what I mean? You in the car with her, she getting some gas, you hop out, you pump the gas. She might go in and pay, but then she get in the car and sit. Those are things that that men should be doing off rip. You know what I mean? And there aren't really things that a woman should be doing off rip, because you know why? That goes back
Yes.
to what you said
Why?
earlier, is because a man should be leading. A man leads, a man sets the pace. And so here's the thing. If the woman is going to lead, then that means that flips. That means that when you start dating a man is not opening your door. The man's not doing all that. You as a woman are doing things to set the pace of the relationship, to let that man know that you are serious about relationship if you're going to lead. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, people want the benefits. A lot of women want the benefits of both sides. They want to lead and be the boss chick, but then also want the man to show up and do what a man's supposed to do. And those fly in the face of each other. If you're gonna lead, lead. If you're going to submit, submit.
But I also think you can have a hybrid of the two, and that's okay too. You can, Freddie. You absolutely. The couple that I went to brunch with, okay, there's no way that he's like, I'm the leader, and the woman's like, I'm going to sit back and submit. That is not happening in their relationship. It's not. It's a hybrid. And like I tell you, I understand the dynamic of which you were speaking about, the standard, how most things work. I had a very deep conversation with a friend of mine yesterday who is in a more traditional relationship. She's one of my only friends, Freddie, that, on some on some things, she's like, I kind of understand what Freddie's saying, because she's in a more traditional situation. She's like, listen, my husband leads. I'm cool with it. It's not a thing. I'm not a prisoner. Like, I can do what I want. But she's like, but look, the things, it boils down to it. He's taking the lead, but she's okay with that. And I said, listen, I think that's beautiful if it works.
You think everything's beautiful?
I don't think everything's beautiful. I don't think everything's beautiful, but I do think that if
you live in LA, perfect weather all the time, except for recently.
What's up, Mom? Hi, Mom. A man sets the tone by his actions. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting, because it's like, yeah, I do think a man should set the tone, and I think you hear
that's what a leader does. You know, right?
I'm sorry.
That's what a leader does. Sets the tone.
And that's what I was going to say. I knew you were going to say that. That's what a leader does. But it doesn't mean that if you're setting the tone of the relationship, that the entire relationship has to, because I think when you're getting to know somebody, you put on faces, you figure things out. And then once you get to know people, maybe some things change. The dynamics kind of change in a sense. That can totally happen. But I do think, in my opinion, and I don't think everyone agrees with this, and it's okay if you don't. I do think
it gotta be okay if they don't.
Yeah, it's fine if they don't. But of course it's okay if they don't. I mean, sometimes you look like
it's our show.
No, I'm just saying, So I do think it's important that a man set the temperature. And which brings us back to our topic, which was social media dating and men sliding in your DMs. And will those relationships work out? I don't know.
I mean, I think they can, of course. Of course, somebody can hop your DMs. But I mean, I'm not a cold, because like when we talked about this topic initially, you were talking about like cold calling, essentially, like dudes just out the clear blue sky falling DMs like, hey, what's up? And I think with that's difficult. Like, I would never do that. I would never just cold call and just dive in a girl's DM without any warming her up, juicing her up, priming her a little bit to who I am. You know what I mean?
I'm talking cold calling, and I know a lot of men do it. They see these Instagram models and they think that maybe, just maybe, especially if they're an attractive man, hey, they shoot their shot. I know my cousin's like, how did you guys get here? Freddie and I always, we
yeah, come on, Victoria. You got to tune in, man. We every Tuesday at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. 8 p.m. This must be her first rodeo. Victoria, this your first rodeo and you related to Drea? I got problems.
That's my cousin. Okay, so let's move on to our next topic, which is sort of guys, we talk about relationships here. A friend of mine said that he sometimes will date women that are not as attractive because they tend to do more for him. And I thought about this, my initial reaction I'm like, excuse me. But then I thought about it and I was like, if I have dated someone that wasn't as attractive, although people can still be like ridiculous, they did try a little bit harder. I'm not going to lie. So he said he knows men that are successful, high value men that say it's less stress to date a woman who maybe isn't like a 9-10, who's coming with, maybe she like a 6 and it's okay. And she's happy to fold them clothes or whatever. Freddie's shaking his head emphatically. So what's going on, Freddie?
Now, any man will tell you that, because when a woman is like too fine, because the thing is I don't know, like, I think every man has said this till they blue in their face. Women, I mean, and I get it. Women aren't men, and women think from a different frame of mind. And the wild part about that is men know that, women do not know that. And it's surprising to me because women are smarter than men. But in this case, they don't get that. And maybe it's just book smart or something. I don't know, but women are inherently smarter than men.
Amen. Let the church bell ring.
But the thing is that for whatever reason, women do not understand the differences between the genders. They don't understand the differences. Men do. And this is what I mean by that. Women will, to piggyback off the DMs, women will get, a bunch of cold call DMs, dudes how make DMs, right. What's up? And that inflates their self-worth. That inflates, I'm sorry.
Uh-oh, time out.
Not I don't mean self-worth. Self-worth is different than your sexual marketplace value. Those are two different things. And
Oh,
even those two things, women conflate those. Women conflate their self-worth with their sexual marketplace value. You can have a high self-worth because your self-worth and self-esteem is about how you feel about you. It has
amen.
everything to do with you. So you can have that, and that's totally fine. I'm not here to dispute that or tell anybody that you are less than what you feel about yourself. Do your thing, boo boo. But when it comes to the sexual marketplace value, the sexual marketplace value is your value to the opposite sex.
There you
That
go,
is your
mom. There you
sexual
go.
marketplace value. And that's what I'm speaking to when I talk about the value of a woman and the value of a man. And so the thing is majority of women have a inflated sexual marketplace value. Whatever
Yeah.
their value is, they think is higher than what it actually is based off men just wanting the F. That's
Okay.
it.
So that goes back to my point, and I hate to say that I heard this on his thing. It kills me. But Kevin, I've been doing my research, and Kevin Samuels did say that I can't even say his name.
Kevin
Samuels did say that that is part of an issue with some women wanting to date beyond their means, which I don't completely agree with. But I
It's
will say
100% correct.
I can't agree with him 100%. It just hurts my soul.
I know it does. I know it
It does.
does.
It
But,
kills me.
facts are facts,
I
baby.
can't. I can't.
Facts are
But he
facts.
said because these women are dating these nines and tens, right? And social media is increasing, how people feel about themselves. All these guys are sliding in my DMs. Like, I just slept with this guy. He does whatever. Like, why would I go date this guy who drives a Honda? He's super nice to me. Like, why would I ever do that? Like, that doesn't
Oh,
make
my God.
any sense. So and so just ran through me and he plays for whatever team, but he's never going to marry you. But the thing is, look, if your goal is to get married, these are things that you really have to start thinking about more seriously. But it does mess up the mindset a bit because there are women that maybe just aren't as attractive or whatever, and they're getting these situations. But just what happened to just being with somebody for love? What happened to that?
And here's the thing: is
Man.
that is the main goal is being with somebody for love, but it's how do you start? Like mugs just don't like with you. It has to be something that make you want to even explore the opportunity, and that's what we're talking about. It's like when you go fishing, you got to have bait. You can't just go out there with a raw hook and just throw it in and you're gonna catch fish. You're gonna sit there all day wasting your damn time waiting to catch a fish because you got no bait.
I
It's
love
just
when
like
your
you
accent
apply for a
comes out.
job. You apply for a job, you put your best foot forward, your resume, and everything you have to get the job. And then you have job fulfillment after that. But you got to get the job first. Just like the woman got to get the man got to get the woman. So the thing is it's not like I saw your mom put superficial. It's not being superficial, but the same thing goes for her. The men that she's been with, your dad and whoever else, it's a reason why she decided to get with him. They did something, they were something to where she was like, you, as opposed to because your mom is a nice looking woman. So
Hey.
obviously she's had men try to get at her. And so with that being said, there are some men that she like, no,
No.
sorry. And it's a reason why she tells that man no, but tells that man yes. So the thing is that if the sexual marketplace is superficial, then we're all superficial. We all are in that boat because there's a reason why you say yes and no to certain people. And that's what I mean by sexual marketplace value. It just is what it is. And I didn't come up with it. Kevin Samuels didn't even come up with it. Nobody came up with it. It just is what it is. Men value things, women value things. And so going back to your point, the high value men getting with a 6 or 7, that's because a 6 or 7 is cute. She's cute. She does the job. We don't need a dumb fine because that's just extra problems. Then it's just like having money. Like realistically, you got somebody who makes 10 million a year. You can pretty much do what you want. It might be the upper crust of things that you can't do that you gotta, but it might be like, like some stuff that like Jeff Bezos flew to outer space. If you make 10 million a year, you can't fly to outer space. That's what I mean. Right. That's what I mean.
But you can maybe get on the waiting list, but maybe.
Right. You maybe get on the waiting list or finagle or something, but you got to know somebody to fly out of space. But the point is, you can pretty much do what you want to do. Now, if you get $10 billion, now you can gain that last 1% of what you can do. But then think of all the other problems now you got to deal with. So it's a trade-off. So the same thing with that woman that's a 6 or 7 as opposed to that woman that's a 9 or a 10. 6 or 7, she works. And then my sanity, like I ain't got to worry about a chick telling me I ain't gonna get my guy, and I'm gonna do what I want to do. Who you talking to and all this other type of stuff? I ain't got to deal with none of that. She get with my program. She look good. I can take her places. Ain't nobody gonna say I'm with a duck. Ain't nobody gonna be looking at what damn why Freddie be with her. Like no, she's a cute chick and all the boxes are checked. Or I can give it a 9, 10 and get the added of damn Freddie B with a baddie. But then I got to deal with now the guys want to like, damn, like looking at it and wanting to see how they can slide in, wanting to hate on me. And then I got to deal with, her possibly having this inflated stuff worth of, you ain't gonna tell me, and I got to deal with all that. And it's like, is it worth it? No, it's not.
The thing is, to that point, okay, some people listening, and I've heard this also in my research about this particular subject, some people would say that comes from a level of insecurity on this particular subject of a man dating a woman who's not as attractive, or even a woman dating a guy who isn't as attractive. Because I know for me, there definitely been some dating apps when I was on the dating apps heavy. I would see men that were like, and I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to deal with all that. I just really don't. It's too much. And I had the same idea, and I wonder like where that comes from. But yeah, I just was like that. I don't want to do all that. First of all, I don't like anybody unless you're in the industry. If you're not in the industry and you taking selfies all the time and showing your chest, and I'm not trying to do all that. That is just not for me. That guy is probably not trying to be a family man. I don't think.
No, I think what you said isn't indicative of most women though. Most women see, because also women don't value looks like men value looks. That's
no,
one.
We don't. We are way more forgiving. I don't mind a little extra. Like I don't need you to have a 6-pack. I really don't. It's not. I'm just like whatever. I'm like, right. Do you love me? Okay, good.
Exactly. Do you love me, and are you committed to me? Exactly. And can you make sure I'm safe?
Right. Okay.
Those are high on the list for women. Yeah. Men ain't looking for like that. Ain't high. That isn't as high. Like, can you make sure I'm safe? We're not worried about if that woman can make sure we're safe. No. In general, we're just worried about the support. Can she keep safe what I already have? And even better, can she grow it? Can she grow what I already have? So it's not really safety, it's support. So you're looking for more support, but the attraction is looks. That's just men. And women call it superficial, all that type of stuff. And I get it because you guys aren't men. You aren't men. So you're not going to understand. And so the thing is that you got to just accept that. But a lot of women don't want to accept that because for obvious reasons, which I've stated in previous podcasts. And so Valencia, she said, people think I'm delusional when I say I want to, when I say I want to date someone for love.
You're not delusional, Valencia. You're not delusional. Keep love alive.
No, and here's the thing, like, I can appreciate that, but I can see where people are coming from with that, because here's the thing. When you get married, anybody will tell you. I just saw this video, somebody was talking about marriage. It was in my feed. After you see all your feeds and then the Instagram you suggested post to keep your timeline going. Yeah. It was what this guy was saying, like, marriage is not for the weak. It's not for the faint of heart. And so the thing is that love is important, but this Disney world and happily ever after has fed us so much on we got to have these butterflies, we got to have this warm and fuzzy, and this love is going to carry us through. And that's not true. It's work. That's why they say marriage is work, is because when you get those hard times, you need more than love. You need determination. Sure. You need commitment to that other person that, hey, I'm here for you. Grand scheme, I want to be here with you, and I want to do this. Not that I need to do this. I want to do this with you. And that's bigger than love. And so that's how I can see why people say she's delusional. And so, and I won't say it's delusion. It's more so a hope. But the thing is, the hope isn't concrete. Because the thing is, we look in the Bible, it says faith is the hope. The faith is the evidence of things not seen. The faith is the evidence of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So there's hope with it, but there's still work. Because we know faith without works is dead. That goes with anybody. That goes with person to person and all that. You got to put in work. You can't just hope and just.
No, but to Valencia's point, I think what she's talking about, look, I don't think anyone in their sane mind thinks that you get married to somebody, make a decision to commit your life to someone, and that it's going to be some cakewalk. Like that's impossible. That doesn't make any sense. Every relationship requires work. I don't think that. I do not think that.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't think that either,
I
but
don't think that.
I do know that's a thing.
That is, I don't know how people, I don't know how anyone in their sane mind that's stable without mental health issues would think that.
No, I get it. I get it because people, one, have probably never seen a marriage, never talked to anybody who's been married. They're totally oblivious to the world.
No. But I think, when I see couples like my girlfriend and then a couple I went to dinner with, a few weeks ago that have been married for 28 years, and he looks at her as if she's the only woman on the planet. I think that's what Valencia may be referencing, because they've obviously been through stuff. They have 3 kids. They were together, I think she was 25, he was 27. Like, yeah, they've been through some stuff, obviously. But they still make a choice to show up to each other. Maybe that particular day, they were having a good day. But I have known them for 2 years, and I'd say most of the time I've seen them, they're really just so considerate of each other. And they don't have relationships that seems like a companionship. Like, he still like is flirty with her. I saw them like have a little makeout session, and I think that is beautiful. And so if you get unfortunately, it sounds like it's rare these days to find someone that you can still, walk this earth with in that much beauty of a relationship. I mean, you're definitely one of the lucky ones. And I think that's what she speaks to. And by the way, they are not in the traditional roles either, but continue.
So here's the thing. We also, let's break it down. Like I'm a linguist. And so love, there are 8 types of love. You have several different types of love. And so the thing is, a lot of times when people say love, they're thinking about the eros love. That's usually what you hear, what people think and what people are equating it with. And then the last little bit, people equate it to the philia type of love. But the thing is that you have, let's break them down. You have eros, philia, storge, ludus, pragma, mania, agape, and philaudia love.
Agape love, yeah.
Agape love. The agape is that universal love. So you have all these different types of love. And so all these loves come together and they manifest themselves in the biggest way when you're married to somebody, because you have all those types of love. So to what, let me see what she said. So to what Valencia said right here, she said, what if you're in a car accident? I still need to love you. That's where you have to exhibit, you have to tap into those other types of love outside of eros and philia love. Because if they're, I mean, that is a super outlier. I'm assuming she's talking about a quadriplegic as opposed to paraplegic. But we're going way left and way on this outlier. And so you can't, and that's the thing, you can't live life addressing outlier, way extreme outliers, because they rarely, if ever, happen. And you can't base something general over all people based on 0.1% or 1% of the situations. But if that does happen, then you have to tap into those other loves, because obviously eros and philia love is out the window because they're quadriplegic, they can't move. So now you're just tapping into those other things, that spirit, y'all connecting. And then that's when we say you have to choose that person. You decided you wanted to be with that person from day one because of the path that, in her instance, she being a woman, the path that man was going, and you wanted him to lead you, and you deemed him the leader that you particularly wanted, and you chose him. So now he's paralyzed. You still have to choose him. And then, like I said, that's an outlier. So outliers, you got, who knows? He may decide like, hey, look, I'm a paraplegic and I don't want you. I feel like you're a prisoner of relationship. I've heard this lots of times where, hey, look, let's end the marriage. We'll still be friends and we'll still be in each other's lives, but I want you to find another man that you can actually interact with.
Right. But to your point, bringing up the different types of love, and I got to watch the time. I think that education and awareness of these subjects is so important, because I think you can get into a relationship, and I like what Jacqueline said. I think the problem is some people don't. I think the problem is some people don't make sure they actually like their partner. They like the idea of their partner and how they make them. I'm assuming they make them feel, but they don't actually like who they are. That is so true, Jacqueline. That's so true. And I think if you have more education when going into relationships about these things, if you're really cognizant of like what your values are, these different types of love, which I didn't even know all these different types of loves existed. I knew like 3 of them. Being conscious of those things and being intentional when you're with your partner, I think you have a better chance of finding someone and having a long lasting relationship. But I think a lot of people date. I mean, I definitely can admit to dating people and not having a clue about what my core values are, like not even thinking about it, just no more than, oh my God, he's really cute. And he opened my door once, so we should get married, you know? But it's
Yeah, I mean,
like,
I think Jacqueline makes a very valid point.
point.
A lot of people love the idea of a person. Like they like what the person stands for. They don't like the
Right.
person. They like what he or she represents. So a lot of women,
That's
like I said,
huge.
right, that stability. A man could be very stable, walk into a room, control the room everywhere he goes, and that woman wants to be with him just for that. She likes she wants to be associated with that, and because she understands,
Wow.
like my ex, who I was engaged to, she literally told me she liked the idea of me. She loved the idea of what I represented, because she actually,
Oh,
like, towards the end, she didn't say this directly, but she was saying things, and then I was able to add it all up and like, okay. Because she told me, like, I know you'll be a great father for our children. I know
right.
that you're a great leader. You're a great man. Like, we show up like you will, I know
On
that if I
paper.
go somewhere and you're with me, I'm good. Like, I know all these different things, but it came into the point of her family life was in turmoil at that point. So she was
Okay.
in turmoil and all these types of things. And so I think that probably made it very difficult for her to actually show up in the relationship and be respectful and give me what I needed and be what I needed and be who she was supposed to be as a woman in the relationship. And so then, I had to just end it, because I understood she just knows that her children will have a great father.
But that's
And,
not a
and,
reason to be in a relationship with someone. You can't be in a relationship with someone. And I used to say that. I used to be that woman who said when I was in a really bad place dating, I was like, oh God, at this point, I just want to date a guy who'll be a good father. Like, I don't even care about the relationship. And that's such a sad thing to say. And that is definitely not something that you can base a relationship on. Like you cannot base a relationship on all these ideas. I think you just have to get clear on your non-negotiables, the things that you like. I cannot do this. Person has to have these things, and I have to, and this is a tricky thing too, because you say, the love and the feels and the butterflies, but I'm like, I don't like how people have arranged marriages. I don't know if I could be with someone that didn't make me feel anything in that regard, because then
you actually could. It's
I,
scary.
I know
It's
that
scary
you
based on
think
our
that,
culture.
Freddie. I don't agree with that. We
Yeah,
disagree.
no, because here's the thing: divorce rates in those countries that do that are way lower than here.
Yeah, but
Way lower.
a lot of times people are extremely unhappy too. And they know because of their family and their religion and all these things, they cannot get divorced. They can't. They have to stay together.
No, but here's
So
the thing. Here's the thing: is if you want to make, like, that's the magical thing about humans. If we really want something to happen, we can make it happen
if you,
if we are
Freddie,
determined.
100% agree.
And so going to those arranged marriages, like, yeah, when like the way out is extreme, you like, all right, we here, we got to make this work. I got to
Sure.
find a way to make this work, vice versa, and you find a way to make it work. Here in America, like, you can dip. There is no, we don't have no, we don't, there's no shame in getting divorced. There's no shame being a single
No.
mama. There's no shame in none of that. Who cares? Live your life, boo boo. So if you with somebody, like,
So
what? You
true.
don't make the bed up every morning? I can't deal with this. I'm up.
I
I'm up.
literally remember my friend, I won't say her name, this girlfriend of mine who was getting married in college, and she had a little too much to drink. And I knew she didn't want to marry him. I knew she didn't want to. And I saw her mom whisper to her, and she's like, oh, honey, we'll just divorce him. It's fine. Don't even worry about it. Like, everybody's already here. We'll just and yes, they got divorced within like 7 months. She hated him. And I was like, why are you marrying this guy? This doesn't make any sense. But, she did it. But look, we only have a little bit more time. I want to make sure that we touch on a subject that just broke my heart when I saw it in the news. I'm sure you guys have seen the actor Jonathan Majors, who was accused of assaulting his girlfriend in a cab. The reason that they said allegedly this assault happened was because she saw some girl texting him. And I definitely want to get into this subject at some point on another podcast. We actually should do it next week because we've touched on this. So obviously he's somebody in the public eye. I'm sure Jonathan Majors DMs is going off, is going crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sure. And so I know I saw this, I think Kevin Samuels said this the other day. If your man, and people listen up to this very clearly, please comment and let me know what you think before we'll talk about it next
Comment,
time.
like, and share, man.
Please don't stop playing with us. I love you, Freddie. So Kevin saying says if your man is ambitious and successful and he's making all the money, he should be able to cheat, right? So this goes into the Jonathan Majors thing. I'm not saying this is the case. This is what I've heard. She took his phone in the cab. Like, obviously, she probably saw something. He's like, give me my phone back. And then allegedly the assault happened. Now, the issue here isn't just what happened in the cab. Freddie and I spoke, on the phone about the attack and how people are reacting to Jonathan based on these allegations, not even knowing if this is true or not, but just attacking this guy. And then come to find out she recanted some of the things she said once that now they're saying there's video footage. And now she's like, oh, wait, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean to say that. So it's really unfortunate. I love Jonathan Majors. I love Michael B. Jordan. They had that amazing moment at the Oscars acknowledging Angela Bassett. He's awesome. He's so talented. And then it's like, man, one thing. And the unfortunate part is, even if this is not true, it's coming out that it's not true, people are going to still associate him with this tagline. And it's awful. Go ahead, Freddie.
Yes, it's very bad. And that sucks, especially with knowing that Dana White was on video smacking his wife New Year's Eve. And she was drunk. You could tell she was drunk and doing way too much. And she I think she lunged at him, and he was like, bitch, back your ass up and smack. I mean, he smacked fire to her, but it was a healthy smack. It was a healthy smack. Yeah, it was a healthy smack. But, he wasn't going through what Jonathan Majors is going through. And more specifically, here's the part that really hurt me, like legit hurt me. It's like, not much stuff hurts me. Not much stuff like gets to me like that. But this kind of got to me when I'm on Twitter, and because I'm expecting, like, his girlfriend's white. So he was accused of hitting a white woman, this black guy who got a lot of muscles. So I'm like, oh yeah, I can just imagine what this trending topic about to look like. I know we're about to see a bunch of white people be tearing into him. I just knew that. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm ready, okay, boom. I go in there and I look, and the top 3, 4, 5 tweets that are getting heavily retweeted, going viral, all black women. All black women. And it threw me for a loop. It threw me for a loop because I'm like, how and why are these black women gonna come in and then try to help to tear this black man down? He's being, because we all know about lynching. Black men, we just see all this with the police. Black police stay essentially lynching black men. We went from Jim Crow being lynched, Emmett Till lynching. Now we live in a new age to where now it's a lot of digital lynching of black men. You a black man, and especially if you a strong black man, it's always something to get you the hell up out of here. Nipsey Hussle was doing a lot of great things, doing his thing, trying to change his standard, even coming from where he came from, got him up out of here. A lot of the outspoken, strong-minded men, especially black men, get them up out of here. And so then I'm looking and seeing black women. And then you go to their page, you look at a lot of them, they'll tell you, I'm a misandrist. I'm this and I'm that about women. It was one black woman going in on him. Like, she even said, who the hell even does a U.S. Army spy? I'm like, what?
Is that what she said?
Her name is Jamila Lemieux, I think.
Throwing names out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know her. She's a public figure on Twitter though. This ain't no regular person. Jamila Lemieux, Lemo. It's Jamila. Malo is AUX, ends in AUX. But she's a notable figure, and she was helping tear him down. And then the people that kind of got the fire smoldering were like gay men. It was 2 gay white men that got them smoldering, which that's the part I don't understand, is like they were helping them. And it's like people say, like, we are our own worst enemy. A lot of times I say no, but in these cases you start to see like that is in fact like that black people probably stay at the bottom. There ain't nothing we gonna do because you got so many misandrous women, black women, that will willingly tear down another black man, all in the name of feminism, to join with their white sisters and tear down a black man, when a lot of those white sisters that they are in conjunction with, they go home to their white husband and then live a great life.
Yeah,
but when they go out, they do all that.
One group, you said the misandrous women, like these women who are like hating.
Oh, Nick put her. He put a website.
Oh, Nick. I love Nick. Nick is one of my best friends. It's her husband. Nick is a leader. Nick does not play.
Nick threw it in there ASAP. He was like, "Oh yeah, boom, I got you, Freddie B."
Nick sitting
double salute to Nick.
I love it. Yeah, I don't know Jamila, but it's true. I mean, and Freddie said to me, he goes, "Go to Twitter, search Jonathan Majors, and look at what's going on." And so it was sad. It was sad because I didn't want to believe it because I was like, I already know what it's going to be.
And so here's the thing. One thing I will say, I do acknowledge the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I'm a big quote guy. I get that. And I'm not going to sit up here and say the majority, that's what black women do. Cause when I say black women, I say black men, I say whatever, I'm speaking about the majority. I'm not speaking about every single person. I never speak in absolutes. So I'm not going to say that's what black women do. The majority of black women don't do that. They're not going to help. Like, oh, let's tear this other fellow black man down. Like they don't do that. But it's still, here's the thing. We have to get to a point where those black women speak to those other black women and hop on them, because it doesn't work. I hop on her. It's like she's already misandrous. She could give a damn about what I say. We need other black women to talk to those black women like, nah, sis, that ain't it. You tripping.
And there were some comments in there, but not, unfortunately, there weren't a lot. So.
And that's the thing. Like, even what Valencia said, she said, I wouldn't do that publicly. You can't do it publicly, and we can't do it. The thing is, you can't do it with your homegirls, and the reason why is because you might be a group of 3 homegirls, 4 homegirls. All those homegirls probably don't share that same ideology that you just shared, that you wouldn't do it publicly. One of those homegirls would do it publicly, and so now that y'all 3 are having y'all little powwow tearing down a black man, one of those homegirls gonna get online and gonna take that conversation to public and run with it. So we have to, cause I know with me, when I see I actually practice protecting black women. I actually practice that, because when I was a couple months ago, I was in the post office. The teller, older black woman too. This Latino cat, he was Latino, but more so white Latino. He started getting real heavy with her, like talking real rough to this older black woman. And I hopped in like, hey, my man, relax. I tell him relax. I was like, I told him, like, you talking a little too spicy, a little too saucy for this woman, and she's older at that. She's older than you, so she's an elder.
You can't be doing
so
that.
I had to interject, because I'm not gonna stand by and watch another man just get out of pocket with a black woman. I'm not gonna do that, because here's the thing: any other race does the exact same thing. Any other race, like, you don't see Jewish people tearing down fellow Jewish people. Like, especially something like this, we didn't got all the facts. It just came out. It was alleged, and it was immediate. The error was immediate. You don't see Asian people. You don't see white people. You don't see this commonly. And then also, to compound it, let me add to that real quick. To compound it, black people are only 12% of the population here in America. We don't have enough numbers to be wilding out like that.
But what I thought was interesting too, before we wrap up, is that even days later, when it came out that the allegations weren't true, you could still Google his name and the headline would be like fresh and have nothing to do with it possibly not being true, which I thought was really, I was like, why does this say 6 hours ago, 3 days ago? They said that, that this was possibly not true, but bold face, 72 font, Jonathan Majors accused of assault, and I was like, all right. I mean, this is now we just doing too much. We're doing too much, but more will be revealed. We don't have all the information. I am rooting for Jonathan Majors because I love him. And
before we get off, we supposed to have somebody come on, because in the post I made, it was a young lady. Should I say her name?
No.
Because she was in the comments and she came at me because she was like, that's all you got out of this. And because this is what my post said. My post said Jonathan Majors was getting crucified for, at the time, allegedly striking his Caucasian girlfriend on Twitter yesterday. That isn't really the surprising part. what was surprising was who was doing the crucifying. And so she hopped in the comments and decided to make a point like, that's all you got out of this situation. I'm like, no, that's not all I got out of it, but that's something that affected me. And I decided to make a post about on my page. And so she came at me, and I invited her to come on the show today to further explain what she meant. Because this young lady, she's a great girl. She, she does sports analysis, and she has some really great analysis on sports. She probably should have her own sports show. Probably should start one. I think it probably would do well. But here's the thing. She loves to argue. She's one of those people that is a complete contrarian and will argue anything. She argued a post I made on my page, basically saying that I needed to make a post on every aspect of this case and have like 8 posts down my line, just so then she could probably then come, okay, Fred, leave it alone. You wore it out. And so it's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't type of thing. And I wanted her to come on. She didn't come on. I knew she was gonna flake, because that's the thing.
No,
People be wanting to see. I'm here for the smoke. I want all the smoke.
Are you always here for the smoke?
No, because here's the thing. The reason why I don't mind getting the smoke is because I say things with a reason. It's a reason why I say things. I don't say things out of feeling. I have facts, data, and statistics to back up what I'm saying. Like the post that I made, I went to Twitter and I told anybody just to go. You went and you saw what I was saying. I didn't tell you. I didn't want to tell you who it was. I didn't want to color your mindset. I wanted you to see it for yourself, and you saw it for yourself. Facts, data, and statistics never lie, and that's why I always want the smoke, because that's what I'm gonna come with. I'm not gonna come with how I feel. Because look, here's the thing. I feel a lot of things.
I know how you feel.
Right. No, here's the thing. Like when I'm talking, like I rarely actually say how I personally feel. And the thing is that because I understand how I feel does not matter. It doesn't matter to people. I'm me. Like, can't nobody live their life off the way I feel.
Right. So you have to bring the facts, right?
Right. Well, we're gonna bring facts, data, and statistics to the situation and show you, like, hey, look, boom, there we go. You know what I mean? I'm not, because how I feel is for me and who I marry. Now, I got standards that I say, but then there's a whole bunch of other attributes that come with being my woman that a lot of men don't share. A lot of men are like, I don't know about that.
Exactly, Freddie. And sometimes I'm here to be that loving, gentle reminder that, yeah, whatever you think.
But there's still a standard. There's still a standard.
Yeah, but that's still your opinion.
Still a standard.
I think it's still your opinion.
It's still a standard. It's still you acknowledge the standard, because you said earlier the man should set the temperature. Set the temperature on the relationship. On the relationship.
The beginning. He should choose you.
That's the relationship.
That's the beginning.
That's the foundation.
Listen, we disagree, but we'll keep
disagreeing. That's the foundational thing.
All right, Freddie. We'll be disagreeing until next week.
Bulletproof, baby.
Oh my God, Freddie, shut up.
I'm bulletproof out here, man. Like I'm undefeated. I'm truly undefeated, man. Oh, you played it. Okay.
I'm playing it. You guys, thank you for tuning in tonight.
Is this the song?
That is the Freddie.
Okay.
Right. That is the song.
All right, we are.
This is Talking to the Truth. I'm Lady Dre Renee. This is Freddie B. We'll be back Tuesday, 6 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Peace. Thanks for joining us.